right, so glad you're joining us online. Anyone in here, by a show of hands, like magic? Do you like magic? Anybody? And I'm not talking, my wife laughed because she knows. I'm not talking like dorky Harry Potter stuff, you dorks. No, I'm talking real men's magic. You know what I mean? You get a lady up there, who knows why she's dressed like she's dressed, but we're going to cut her in half, like with a saw and put her back. You know what I mean? Anyone into that? Just okay, now less hands have went up, like, oh, I don't like that. So when I was a kid, David Copperfield was the man, right? He was like probably the biggest one at that time, and he would do all these specials on TV. And I remember I'm like 11 years old, and he did where he made a whole train car. Literally, they had people circled around, big lights, and then he elevated the train car up on this big crane, and then it just disappeared. It was like unbelievable. He made the Statue of Liberty disappear. I love it. And I've told this before, but when my wife and I were first married, so I'm like 21, low 20s, young, and she comes home and she's like, this is before you text and all that stuff. And she said, there's a lady at work who had tickets to David Copperfield at the Paramount, didn't want them, so I just took them. She's like, you want to go tonight? I'm like, that's the greatest gift you've ever given me in my life. Went to Copperfield at the Paramount. This is a true story. I lie a lot. This is true. And we're up in the balcony. Of course, free seats. We don't care. And at the very end, he's like, I want to call up like 15 volunteers to get on stage, and I'm going to make you guys all disappear and relocate you somewhere else. He kept building it up. So while that happened, I'm like, okay, this is always kind of rigged, and it's a trick. But I'm watching it, and they take these big beach balls and just put them out in the crowd. Well, one of them comes up literally to the balcony where we're sitting, and I kid you not, there's me and like a 6-year-old trying to get this ball. Who wins, right? Yeah. I mean, I literally mauled this kid. I think I knocked him over the balcony. He's not alive anymore. He's just, who cares? But I get the ball, go down there. Greatest day of my life. You're like, you have 2 children. Like I said, greatest day of, no, it was really so amazing. So I've always kind of liked that as a kid, watching it. David Blaine, I don't know, it's just my mind. Like, how they do that, so cool. But the reason I share that with you guys is because if you know, like, magic, and especially in church, you're like, you can't say magic. I love what Christians do too, okay? So if you have a magician say he's good and his act is clean and whatever, but you can't go into a church because you're going to use the word magic, and that's evil. And you can't go to a Christian school because that's magic, it's evil. So you know what they do? Christians are so genius about this kind of stuff. It annoys me to no end. It's like, no, he's not a magician. He's a Christian illusionist, right? Next time you see a Christian school, whatever, they have somebody watch, I promise they will not say he's a magician. Like, you can't say that. But he's doing the exact same stuff. He's just, no, I'm a Christian illusionist. But the reason I say that to you is because magic is an illusion. It's not real. It's just an illusion. And what an illusion does is an illusion can do one of 2 things. One, it can distract me. There's a lot of stuff going on, and while we're looking at something else is actually happening. That's one way that it works. And then another way an illusion really works is it just makes you think something's true when it's not. And this morning, I want to talk about how maybe our busyness and maybe even your exhaustion in life, in church, in relationships, all of those that are exhausting, I think also is an illusion. I was here this past Sunday night, and when I left, one of the ladies here texted me, and she was like, are you doing okay? That's always a good text, isn't it? You doing okay? I'm like, yeah, sure. And she's like, man, you just look so tired. And then literally, 2 days later, I'm in a meeting, and I leave, and someone in the meeting just texted me and said, are you okay? And I just jumped the gun. I was like, why? Do I look like I'm stressed or tired? And they're like, yeah, you do. Kind of worried about you. So I probably need this more than any of you, just feeling like pushed to the edge. But I think that's also the illusion. Why? Because busyness is an illusion that tells us, no, you're making progress. You're making progress. And then we get frustrated. Why? Because busyness a lot of times isn't progress. It's just we're spinning our wheels time after time. I wrote this down. Busyness can trick you into thinking you're making progress. And when you're not, that's when we get frustrated. So some of you here, if you think, my frustration doesn't come from what I'm typically doing. My frustration comes from when I think I'm doing something good or a lot of something and there's no results. And this works in work. If some of you are killing yourself at work and you're like, no one even cares, I don't feel like anyone notices, that's frustrating. At home, you're like, okay, I've been a jerk husband for 3 weeks. This week, I'm going to get on top of it. I'm going to be a great husband. I'm going to be the best, And you get there, and for 3 days, you're super nice. Hey, can I get you something? You're cleaning the dishes. And then you look, and it's like, she still doesn't care. She's doing the same stuff she still did, right? I'm trying to manipulate her. That's not right. But still, either way, that's what I'm trying to do. Those of you who have kids, you know this. What's the most frustrating thing about your kids? They don't do what you want them to do. Like, hardly ever, right? The ones every 5 years they actually do something you want them to do, you're like, I love you. Like, it's amazing to you. But it's frustrating when you're putting in all this work as a parent and you're like, am I even getting anywhere? Right? All of this busyness leads to frustration. But here's what I want to talk about too. I think we do that in church. I do. I think we're really good at, we want people to get really busy, and we want you guys to be part of a ton of different stuff. And I'm not against all that, please. I'm not against, I love that you're here. I love that people watch you online. But it's like, no, you need to show up, and you need to give, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. And we do all this stuff, and if we're honest, you can talk to people. It's like, no, I serve, I do this. How do you feel? Stressed? Is it helping you over the last 2 years that you become even more busy and busy? It's like, no, I'm actually more tired. I've actually added this new church element to it, and it's just adding more and more. Why? Because it's an illusion. So I want to give you just a couple of thoughts. We're going to be in John 15 today, and this is Jesus at the end of his life. But I want to give you, this is kind of my MO, I think. At the end of the day, kind of live and die by it. Jesus plus anything equals exhausting. Do you know that? Jesus plus anything. And I wrote this down. The greatest illusion religion sells is that you need to do more to get closer to God. Now, can I just say this to some of you here? If you're kind of a churchy person or grew up, I get it, like a good Bible background. I think today I'm going to say some stuff. You're like, I don't know if that's true. And that's fair. We can discuss this and talk about it. But I think the illusion of religion is it says, hey, no, do more so you can get closer to God. You know, Trent, I just don't feel really close to God right now. But man, when I showed up that Sunday, I felt so much closer to him. I'm not denying that, but did you notice the words you just said? Today, I don't feel so close to God. Yesterday or last night, I felt close to God, right? It's still a feeling. It's maybe not what's true. I can feel a lot of stuff that's not true. John 15, verse 5, this is what he says. Jesus talking, he said, I am the vine, you are the branches. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Apart from me. What Jesus is saying is, listen, apart from me, you can't even breathe. You have no life. It's not Jesus, oh, come down and make us good people and make us morally sound and make us morally superior. Jesus is like, you're dead. I had to come so you could have life. You literally cannot live without me. Jesus plus anything usually ends up being off. I love the Message translation. He wrote, I am the vine, you are the branches. When you're joined with me and I with you, the relation, intimate and organic, the harvest is sure to be abundant. Intimate and organic. When my kids were little, like my son was probably 6, daughter was 5, we went to this cookout. And we're sitting outside, and it's at this birthday party, and I didn't know the people, so I'm sitting down, and I start talking to this lady about my age, and she has kids about the same age. So we start talking, and no offense, our lovely lady. We would never be like close in any realm of any universe, okay? And I could just tell you after talking to her, it's like, okay, we'll talk. But she starts talking, and in the middle of that, she says, she gets into some conspiracy theories, which I did love that. Like, I don't think we landed on the moon either. Like, I'm building into it, right? Like, yeah, did that happen? And she's got crazy theories. But anyways, so I like people with crazy theories. But in the middle of that, she was like, and what about Red 40? I have no clue what she's talking about. But I was like, it's awful is what it is. I lay up at night worried about, because she didn't say die. I think she would have said die, would have kind of got it. She was like, Red 40. I'm like, it's freaking me out, right? I mean, sometimes I can't sleep. Like, Red 40, it's everywhere. And about the time my kids come running up, they're like, hey, can we have another, cherry Gatorade and some Skittles? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Just stay away from the Red 40, right? You know? She's like, I had no clue what she's talking about. The reason I tell you that, though, is, some of you here are like, yeah, but Red 40 is bad for you. Why? Because it's an additive, right? It tries to make something look better, taste better, but if we're honest, it probably is pretty toxic for you. It's probably not great to consume gallons and gallons of Red 40, right? Because it's artificial. I love that phrase. It says the relation intimate and organic. Organic means no additives. You see, I truly believe it's Jesus plus nothing equals life. Jesus plus nothing equals, to me, everything, right? It's only about him. Notice what he said. I'm the vine, you're the branches. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Religion is Red 40. Looks good. Makes it shinier. I'm going to do all this stuff. And then God will be happy with me and he'll be closer to me. And you're like, but why is that not happening? Maybe it's because you believed a lie. Paul said this. I'm going to just sidetrack real quick. Paul said in 1 Corinthians 6:17, whoever is united with the Lord is one with him in spirit. Now, I'm going to blow your mind here for a second, and I just want you to hear this, okay? Just a quick thought. Paul's saying, and there's multiple verses like this. I just picked probably the closest one. Paul said, if you're in Christ, you put your faith in him, you are now one in spirit with him. So let me ask you a question. Just be honest. If you're already one with Christ, can you get closer to him? If you and him are now completely in union as one, can you actually get closer to him? Honest question. I've been thinking about this for the last couple of years because I grew up in this mindset. It's like, no, read your Bible. Why? So you can get closer to God. Hey, you should get in Sunday school class. You should get in a small group. Why? All those are great things. I'm a champion of those. But it's like, why? So I can get closer to God. Wait a minute. No. There's so many verses in the whole New Testament that keep saying, no. Now you're united with Christ. You're one in Christ. We're going to come back to a big one here in a second that actually came from Jesus. So what do we do with this? Okay, you're like, okay, trying to get it. Maybe we're one. That doesn't really affect any part of my life, but go on. But here's where I think the rubber meets the road. Love is rebellion against religion. Love will always be in rebellion to religion. What do I mean by that? The most rebellious thing you can do against religion, literally, what's the most? You can stop trying to prove your love for God and literally start believing his love for you. That's the most rebellious thing you can do against religion is start, okay, I don't have to prove myself to God. I don't have to prove I'm worthy. I don't have to get my act together. No. I'm going to literally start believing. Stop trying to prove my love for God and start believing his love for me. Now, let's go on. Look what it says in the next verse 9. He says, I have loved you even as the Father has loved me. Remain in my love. Now, because I'm a pretty sharp guy, thought that would be a joke. It wasn't, so it's awkward. Yeah. No, I'm not a sharp guy. But I got online and looked up the Greek, the original word of this. Remain in actually means to stay and rest. That's like it's translated that many times. So look at this verse again. I have loved you even as the Father's loved me. Now stay and rest in my love. You see, one of the things I think, if you just said, Trent, elevator pitch, you got 3 seconds. What's Christianity all about? I'd say Jesus. And nothing. Jesus. But then if you said, okay, but rubber meets the road, what's this really mean for us? Like how is this good news? I would say this. I would say all of Christianity, us walking with Jesus, is just enjoying the gift. What gift? Well, there's a lot of gifts, but I think the biggest gift is now we are one in him. We have closeness with God. Literally, they can't be separated. You and him are one. Now, I can prove this, okay? Show of hands. How many of you here would say, Trent, I think I'm as close to God right now as you are? Would you raise your hand? Okay. None of you? You think I'm that good? Follow me home today. And you'll be like, every one of you will be like, we are so much closer to God than you are. Really? You said that? You used those words? Like, yeah, I get it. No. But here, I'll go deeper. How many of you right now would be bold enough, you're like, Trent, you're going to get struck on lightning on stage. How many of you bold enough to say, I'm as close to God right now as Jesus is? Would you say that? 2 hands. They're like, don't call me out. Yeah, 3 hands. Right? But what's he saying? He's like, no. As the Father loved me, he's saying, here's your gift. You have the gift of oneness. It's a gift that you cannot be separated from God now. I love when my kids were little. Christmas was always my favorite. My daughter, she's probably not watching. She's at U-Pike. My son's here. But I remember when they were really little and, Santa time and Christmas Eve. And I remember my daughter, she was so little once. She was like missing a few teeth. I'll never forget this. And we're setting out cookies and milk. And she looked at me and she said, how many cookies do you think Santa will eat? And I said, a lot. Matter of fact, you don't have enough. Go get like 8 more. So she's setting out like 20 cookies. She's like, you think he'll eat this much? And my wife's just staring at me. I'm like, oh, he'll eat that much. Trust me. We're not throwing this away. But I remember she'd be so excited. And my favorite thing was they would wake up Christmas morning and they'd open gifts and they'd be like, I remember one year they got bikes. And I just remember they're like, how did Santa know I wanted a pink bike? This is amazing. How did Santa know I wanted a green and black bike? They were so amped. I loved it. It was so much fun to just watch them get a gift. But here's my favorite thing about Christmas for me. After they were done opening all their gifts, I would look and see the ones they really liked the most, the one they were most happy with, and I'd walk up and I'd be like, my daughter's name's Tegan. I'd be like, Tegan, now that bike, right, that didn't come from Santa. That's other gifts. We bought that for you. That bike was $120. So I'm now going to need you to wash dishes every day after we eat with your tiny little hands for 3 weeks. You're going to work. See, all of you in here are like, we know it's not true. No one does that. That even sounds a little bit sick, doesn't it? But we do that with God. No, God, I know you love me, and I know you showered me with a lot of gifts, but now let me work, because if I don't work for you, my kids never said at Christmas and said, okay, Dad, now what can we do for you? They didn't. They knew it's a gift, freely given by me to them. Now, this is where it gets a little sticky. Look at verse 10. Jesus said, when you obey my commandments, there it is, Trent. See, you're tricking the Bible a little bit. He says, when you obey my commandments, you remain in my love, just as I obey my Father's commandments and remain in his love. So Trent, that's what he's saying. Be good, do the right stuff, follow the commandments, and then you stay in my love. If you don't follow the commandments, then you're out of my love, right? I mean, that's fair. That's what it seems to say. Now, I'd challenge you with this, though. If you look up the Greek word there, it can either mean commands, instructions, or it can mean orders. But let's not change it, because that would be me trying to make something not there. Let's keep it as my commands. Okay, my command. It actually can be singular too. So we have to work. Well, John wrote this. And after the resurrection in 1 John, John also wrote, he came back to this. He's talking about how to remain in his love. And here's what he said about what's the command. Is the commandments the 10 commandments? Is it the 600 commandments? Is it the top 5? Is it giving? Is it serving? Look what he says the commandment is. 1 John 3:23. He says, and this is his command, to believe in the name of his Son, Jesus Christ, and to love one another. He's like, Jesus literally is fulfilling all the old commandments, and now here's the new command, to believe in his Son, Jesus Christ, and to love others. Now, here's where I want to kind of go with that. So we know that serving, killing yourself, being good, being right, being holy, that's not the answer. The answer is literally love. Believing, loving. Believing, loving. Now, he takes us a little more, because at the end of the day, I don't know you that well, some of you I don't know. One lady walked in, she was at the counter, so nice to meet her. She said it's her first time ever here, so me and her have never met. But I can say this about her, I would argue. I bet if you push her on it, like me and like you, I would like to have peace. In my crazy, hectic life, I want peace. You know what I really want, though? I want joy. I want to feel good, and I want to have joy in life. Here's what I would say to you guys. Joy isn't something you find. It found you. Joy isn't something we will ever find. Joy isn't out there, right? It's actually in here. Everybody's chasing joy. The next trip, the next promotion, the next bigger house, the next when my kids finally get to this stage, the next when, I can have kids, the next when I get married, the next when my kids finally move out, the next when we get to retire, the next, we're always chasing this joy. And we keep thinking joy is out there, but it's not. Joy is actually in here, and joy has a name, and it also starts with a J, Jesus, as we're about to see right here. But we keep chasing false joys in life, promotions, vacations, all this. We also chase false joys in religion. Serve more, give more, do more, get better, get your act together, right? These are false joys. When I was in 5th grade, my family went to a football game, an away football game, Sims Valley. And when we went there, they had this, like all schools have it, they have a little section where all the kids come and they play their own football game and do their stuff. And I'm in 5th grade, and I remember I'm with some of my buddies. We don't know any of these kids, and we walk out to the back behind the stadium, and they had this huge dirt pile, huge like mountain of dirt. To a carpenter, this was the greatest thing any carpenter's eyes have ever seen. I'm looking, and there's an overgrown kid up there. It looks like he's failed 5th grade about 17 times. Right? But he's up there, and all these kids are running up, and they got on their jerseys and stuff, but they're running up, and he's literally, it's like Mortal Kombat. I mean, there's punching, kicking, shoving, kids are bleeding. And I looked at my friends, and I'm like, what is this? This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. So in the middle of that kid up there, we're literally like, what are you guys doing? And he was like, it's King of the Hill. What are the rules? There are none. Just get to the top of the hill. It's like, I love this. So I look at my buddies, and I was like, look, we're going to like 5-man attack this. So we're going to go up, literally storm the gates. We're going to take over, and then we'll be the kings. And that's what I said, plural, kings of the hill. Well, I was lying. I got them to help me, and then once I go up there, I'm shoving them all off, right? But I remember I get to the top. I'm shoving my buddies down. It felt so good. I was king of the hill at this away game. King, I'm the man. And then you know what happened? About 20 other kids come up, and they're trying to punch you and kick you and shove you off. It was exhausting. It was exhilarating, but it was exhausting. That's what joy is. Man, when I climb up there, and then you get up there and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to protect this. I got to do this. Oh, I'm stressed about, how do we make this payment, right? It's like king of the hill. You can never rest in that. So look at what Jesus said, verse 11. He says, I have told you these things so that you will be filled with my joy. Yes, your joy will overflow. This is my commandment. Love each other in the same way I have loved you. Now I get I've been kind of philosophical today, so you might have checked out, but hear this for just a second. See, what I've learned in my life, we have on our app, we have a little thing called Bless, and trying to encourage people like, hey, we want you to be a positive spark in the community. We want you to love as you've been loved. But you know what I've learned? And this is actually a good cheat code in life. If I just come in here and say, hey, come on, guys, love people this week. Come on, get closer to God. You're far away from him right now. You do it, and God will love you more, and he'll reward you more. I can say that. I don't think it's true. But here's what I've learned. When people realize how much they're fully loved by God, you know what happens? Two things happen, I think. One, if you believe that this morning, you start actually first loving yourself more. Oh, we should never love ourselves. Yeah, you should. God loves you. You should love yourself. But we start actually loving ourselves more, and when we love ourselves more, we actually start loving other people the way that we feel about our love from God and our love from ourselves. So here's how it works. The more we realize how much we're loved by God, fully approved, fully accepted, fully loved, fully forgiven. When you realize that, then here's what happens. You actually get to move on and say, okay, I'm fully loved. I'm fully accepted. I'm fully forgiven. I feel good. And you know what you get to do? You get to extend that to all of your other people. Well, they wronged me. Yeah, they did, but it's okay. I'm going to forgive as I've been forgiven. I'm going to love the way that I've been loved. It's unlimited. Now, my wife's the camera woman today. I'll tell you this about my wife, okay? She loves one thing in the world more than anything else, Slim Jims, okay? So if we're ever eating dinner, now our kids are going, we're eating dinner, we're by ourselves, we're just old people now and busy with sports and all this, so we get home, it's late, 8 o'clock, we're eating. If we're ever eating, okay, this happens many times, we're eating, and we look over and we have a little jar full of, like, stuff, snacks, whatever. But there's one Slim Jim over there. You know what's going to happen? We're both going to look at that Slim Jim, can't say the word, we're going to look at each other, and then I'm going to realize I love Slim Jims because I love any meat treat. That didn't come out right, but I'm going to stand by it, okay? I do. Love it. My wife, though, loves Slim Jim. She loves them. So when I look over and realize there's one Slim Jim left out of that 5-pack box, if I'm really loving, then I could be like, here, you take it, you eat it. But I don't. I keep staring at it, staring at her, staring at it, and then until she finally just walks over quietly and eats it in the corner like a little mouse, embarrassed. Right? Because it's limited. So when it's limited, you feel like, oh, I can't extend stuff because I need it. But I promise you this, if you guys ever come to my house, you walk in my living room like, hey, what's your Wi-Fi password? Here it is. I'll tell it to you guys right now, right? Tay-Teagues, hashtag, I don't care. Why? It's unlimited. It's unlimited. When something's unlimited, it's like all of you can have it. I remember a kid in our kid's class when he was a junior, and one of the kids said, he's so generous, like he's buying everybody lunch and snacks. I was like, he's not generous. His dad's just giving him a lot of money, right? He's got unlimited funds. But this is what God's saying to you. When you get it, the secret to loving is first realizing I'm fully loved. I can love myself. Now I can start loving others. That's the secret. So let's go. John 17, I want you to hear this. Here's what Jesus said. This is his prayer. This is Jesus before he's done with all this. Here's how he prays to God. I want you to hear this. And maybe this all comes together, hopefully. He says, I pray that they will all be one, just as you and I are one. As you are in me, Father, I am in you. Okay? And may they be in us so that the world will believe you sent me. You know what the best testimony we have to the world is when they see literally the peace and joy we have from God. Trent, your life's falling apart. Trent, your hopes and dreams are crashing. What are you going to do? I have joy. There's no way. I do. Because I know that he's in me and he's with me. Look what he says. I've given them the glory you gave me. The same glory? Yes. So they may be one as we are one. I am in them and you are in me. May they experience such perfect unity. May they believe, understand, that the world will know that you sent me and that you love them as much as you love me. So let me ask you another question before we kind of wind this down. Are you as close to God as Jesus is right now? Have you put your trust in Jesus? Are you as close to God as Jesus is right now? According to this in his prayer? Yeah. Well, I know, I mean, I'm sure God loves me, but he doesn't love me like you, Trent, or he doesn't love me like, look how great that lady is. No, it says here that literally God loves you as much as he loves Jesus. And you're as close to him. right? So maybe we need to quit this illusion. I know I'm just trying to get, now don't get me wrong. I read my Bible every day. I'm not flexing. I am a little bit. I read it every day, like a chapter every day. How about that, huh? And I try to, in the morning, before I do anything, just stop and just kind of slow down, pray for my kids, just pretty quick. But here's my point. I don't ever do that now in the last couple of years because, like, I'm getting closer to God. I do that because it helps remind me of how close I already am. Huge difference. So even when I read the Bible, I'm like, what's the good news you have for me today? And I go through. Sometimes I get it. Sometimes I don't feel it. It's okay. But I'm not reading to get closer to God. So here's what I want to do as we close. I've never done this before. I'm a little nervous. In all my years of all the nonsense, I came out in a casket once on Easter. Okay? That happened. And believe it or not, a lot of people got up and left. And in hindsight, I don't blame them because it was kind of dumb when I think about it, right? I don't want to say this. We also played maybe Hell's Bells as I was coming out. I'm like, as I get older, I'm like, dude, how dumb was I? Hopefully I'm not that dumb, but I'm still kind of dumb. But here's what I want to do. I want you to hear this. Illusions are rigged, and so is your life in Jesus. Illusions are rigged. They're guaranteed. Remember when I told you about Copperfield making the whole train car disappear? He did something right before that, blew my mind. So I'm like 11, 12. He literally on screen put 4 cards, and he was like, here's the diner car, here's like the bathroom car, here's the sleeping car. He had 4. And he was like, I want you to put your finger on one of those cards. I'm a dork. I did it. On my TV, our old school TV, I'm like holding it. And he's like, and he added some other cards. And then he said, now you can move 3 places, however. He's like, okay, so it wasn't this one. He pulls away. He keeps doing it. He does it 5 times, 5 steps. And at the end, he's like, okay, is your finger on the diner car? Of course it is. That's the car I'm going to make disappear tonight. I'm sitting there as 11-year-old like, how's this happen? And he says this. He says, do you think I read your mind? Go back and watch this on YouTube. Do you think I read your mind? Yes. Yes, David, I do. I was so amazed. Get a little bit older and you look, it's just math, right? He put out 4 cards. They're odd number cards. And then you put in even cards. If you move 2 places, you know, if it's the same if I say, hey, pick a number, any odd number. You pick 3. I'm like, okay, now add a number, right? Add 1 number, up or down, doesn't matter. I'm like, well, guarantee that you didn't have 5. Like, how'd you know that? Because I made you move. Anyway, I won't get into the dorkiness of it. But my point is, it's rigged. So here's what I want to do this morning. Okay? I need a volunteer, and we'll close with this, and I want to give you an amazing gift card, but you got to be part of my magic trick today. Sorry, Christians. Sorry, church. My illusion today, okay? So all I need you to do, you don't have to talk. You just have to come up here and be my example. Anyone want an amazing gift card today? Anybody? Remy, you're up? Okay, I love, Remy, now, you're my niece, so this will look staged. Have we talked about this at all? You promise? Yes. If you lie, you go to, I'm just kidding, you don't. You got it? Okay, come on. Okay? This is Remy. Everybody give Remy a hand, okay? Right? This is yours. You want to put it right there in your pocket. That's your gift card, okay? So here's what we're going to do. Okay, I got a card trick. Now, if my wife was a good camera, no, she's good, but she doesn't have the technology and we don't have IMAX screens. But if she did, what I would do is show these cards, just so you see they're not all the same card, because that would be an easy trick, right? So I want you to look. Are all these different cards? Yes. You promise? Yes. All different, okay? Here's what we're going to do. Real simple. I'm going to go like this. I'll go fast or slow. After this, I don't want you to talk, though. You just say fast or slow. I can go really fast, or I can go slow. You're going to say stop. When you say stop, I'm going to stop, and we'll give you that card. Fair enough? Okay, you want to go fast or slow? Fast. Fast? Okay, so I'm going to go fast, and you just say stop. It can be any time you want. You can wait a little bit. You can go in the beginning. Got it? Okay, all you got to do is say stop. Stop. Okay. Now, you think I kind of stalled a second? Let's do it again. We'll go fast. Ready? Stop. Okay. That's your card. Okay. Now, don't let me see it. Step down in front real quick. Okay, we'll be done, I promise. Everybody's like, what in the heck are you doing, Carpenter? Okay, I want you just to show them that card. Just show them. I don't want to see it, okay? Okay, now here's the thing. Don't say yes, just nod, yes, no. Is it an ace of, I'm just kidding, it's 6 of hearts. Right? 6 of hearts? Is it not? Okay, let me see it real quick. Yeah, 6 of hearts. All right, so that's all I just want to show you. Wait, come here. Do one more thing. Gift card. Okay, let me see it real quick. Open it up real quick in front of them. Super fast. Hurry. A little juice to you today, kid. Everyone wants to go home. They've had donuts. We passed out from a sugar coma. Come on. I've never seen someone open an envelope so bad. There's your gift card. Show it to them. I need that back. It's part of my trick. Okay, see ya. Yeah. No, you'll get an actual gift card. Get out of here. Okay. So, here's my point to all that. Yes, I did want to flex a little bit that I dabble in the illusions myself. But here's why I wanted you to see that. This is the whole point, okay? That's rigged. Actually, I had a lady come up to me after the 9:30 I did it, and she's like, you got to show me. She's like, there's no way. This is rigged in this deck of cards, I can promise you, even though they're all different cards. It's rigged. There's a little trick behind this where no matter when she says stop, a 6 of hearts will come out. No matter what. It's rigged. Why am I telling you that? Here's the good news of the gospel today. It's rigged too. Not to trick you. It's rigged to make sure you're always one with Christ. Here's how I know. Jesus said, I'm giving you a brand new heart. I'm now going to live in you. I'm in you and you are in me. It's rigged. No, Trent, you don't understand. If you're telling me I don't have to do anything specific to be close to God, I'll just go out and kill a bunch of people. Right? Do you want to? Yeah, I agree. I wanted to this morning. The lady in the passing lane of 52 in her Subaru going 35 miles an hour, I did. For a moment, I wanted to kill her. I wanted to honk my horn. I wanted to blow by her, like look at her. But you know what? Then I was like, okay, I don't want to kill her. Right? That's sick. Here's why, though. Even when I'm maybe somewhere I don't need to be, maybe my mind's not in a good place, it's rigged. Why? Because Jesus doesn't have the 6 of hearts. He has your heart. He's like, literally, I'm indwelling in you every second of every day. You're in me, I'm in you. It's rigged. So literally, even in the moments like, I'm going to be a jerk to my wife every day for the rest of my life. And doesn't matter, I'm already as close to God as I want. And he's like, yeah, but here's the problem. I'm also in you now. Right? I'm going to be rubbing against you. My spirit's in you. So even when I'm like, I'm going to be a jerk to that guy today. I can. But you know what happens? I get in the car, I'm like, why? Because he's constantly in me. The gospel is such good news that it says, not only are you fully loved, fully forgiven, fully approved, but now I'm indwelling in you every second of every day. The disciples, when Jesus was getting ready to die, they were like, oh no, but it's been so good being with you right now, and we got to be with you almost all the time during the day, and we loved it, and now you're going away. And remember what he said? I'm going away because it's going to be better. How can it be better if you're not coming back? No, because now I'm going to live in all of you. My spirit, the Spirit of God, is now one with yours. The gospel is rigged. He front-loaded it full of grace to where we literally cannot. This trick, that's the reason I want to show you that, it can't fail. It really can't. I can do it 100 more times up here, every one of you. 6 of hearts, 6 of hearts. I can throw them out all day long. And they're all different cards. You know why? Because it's rigged. Jesus is like, the gospel's rigged. Can't fail. Why? Because I am now in you and you in me. We are one. So this morning, here's what I like to do. Let's just pray for a second. Father, I thank you so much. Those watching online, I thank you for every person in this room. So grateful for this moment that we get to come and celebrate. We sing songs to be reminded of how amazing you are. Father, we get to listen to these talks or whatever you want to call them, just so we can be reminded of good news and that your love for us is far greater than any of us can ever imagine. So God, I pray today that I'm thankful that we weekly get to come together so we can remind each other of the good news. I'm thankful that we have this Bible so we can read daily to be reminded of your good news on a daily basis, that we're allowed to talk to you with no barriers. God, I thank you for all these amazing gifts, but I pray today that we would get this in our hearts and realize I can't get closer to you because I'm one with you right now. I just get to simply enjoy the gift. So God, I pray today for some of us that maybe our action step, if there is any action step, I pray we would be more aware of that this week. Maybe before we get out of our cars, God, and head into office on a busy day, we literally just stop and say, you're with me. We are one, Jesus. Maybe for some of you, and God, I know it sounds weird to some people in this room, but even before you sit down to watch TV at night, just a moment to sit on the couch and say, Jesus, you're with me. We're one. God, I pray more than anything else that C3 would be a place where we're constantly reminded of not only who we are in you, but we're reminded of this amazing gift that we get to enjoy. Thank you for this closeness. Thank you for this amazing love. And God, I pray today, as we walk out of this room, we would be reminded, I'm fully loved, I'm fully forgiven, I'm fully approved. And because of that, I don't have to chase joy. It's been here the whole time. Thank you for that amazing gift. And we ask these things in your son's name, and amen. Guys, hope you have an amazing week. Next week is the last week of the series. Aaron's going to talk about rest. Take care.